OffBeat Sports Podcast.
It's been a tale of two seasons for the Boston Celtics.
I probably aged about 10 years just from that series.
I'd probably compare myself to just a younger, smarter, more handsome, stronger Michael Jordan.
Let's go Celtics. Go Patriots.
These are guys who, when you give them a bowl of Cheerios in the morning, they finish every last drop of milk.
Absolute clown over here.
I'm ready when you are, baby.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast. Today we are continuing our interview series called OffBeat University, where we interview Division I college athletes, both male and female, from many different sports to get the full perspective into the lives of our student athletes. So today we are joined by Liam Anderson, NFL draft prospect and All-American linebacker for the Holy Cross football team. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So before coming to Holy Cross, you played high school football at Mount Olive High School in Mount Olive, New Jersey. So how did playing at a school like Mount Olive prepare you to play college football at the Division I level?
Funny you asked that because I didn't really play any positions in high school that I ended up playing in college. So, high school ball was, a lot of fun for me, just, getting to play with my boys that I've, been growing up with for all those years. I'd say I had a lot of good coaches in high school, and they kind of gave me a heads up on what to expect going into college ball and just to be versatile and, work hard at everything that I do, no matter if it was playing linebacker or, running down on kickoff. So I'd say they prepare me in just being ready for everything.
Yeah, so you just mentioned it. You didn't really play the positions you're playing now. So you played QB in high school, so
Right.
As well as playing defense. So you threw for over 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, and a bunch of rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. So how is playing QB and spending time on the offense side of the ball helped improve your play today as like a linebacker?
Yeah. What I tell people is that you can only get so complicated playing, quarterback in high school with your offense in terms of passing concepts that you run. And definitely in college, they're a lot more complex and there's a lot more stuff going on. But having played quarterback in high school and, there are also still some carryover from simple route concepts and stuff like that. It gives me like a little bit of an advantage knowing like what the quarterback is looking at or how they're reading the defense or just, quarterback instincts and like how looking on the other side of that as like a defensive player kind of gives me like a little bit of an advantage when, specifically in the pass game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Out of high school, as Cross said, you put up these crazy numbers on both sides of the ball, playing quarterback and playing defense. So you must have had many recruiting offers from a bunch of Division I schools. So what was it that made you sign with Holy Cross?
So I didn't really care what position the schools wanted me to play. I had like low level, like Pioneer League offers from like Davidson and Marist to play quarterback. But other than that, every other school that was looking at me was, specifically for defense and like more of like a safety hybrid role. So when it came down to it, Holy Cross wanted me to play defense. And, it was just the best combination of what I was looking for at that time in a school. And that was just, great academics as well as great football. So they just had the total package for me. And at that point, it was a no-brainer decision and probably the best decision I've ever made in my life. So glad it turned out.
Yeah, so to go off of that, your freshman year at Holy Cross, it also happened to be Coach Chesney's first year on the job. The team really struggled and finished 5-6 on the year. But This past year, in your fifth season, the team just had one of the best years in Holy Cross football history, going 12-1 and making the FCS quarterfinals. So how would you say the culture has changed around the team since your freshman year? And like, how has Coach Chesney kind of helped guide the team to these great seasons recently?
Yeah, it's been, an awesome ride. And Coach Ches has really been, the main core factor in all of the transformation. He's really just instilled a culture in all of us that we all just bought into, as freshmen. And I think from year to year, all we've seen is just, progressive development in the program. That's been, really rewarding and fulfilling to see that development from our freshman year. Cause like you said, like we were not good freshman year, like we loved playing football and that was a good group of guys, but we just didn't buy in as much as we did, in the next couple of off seasons. But to see that turnover to, what we left the program as, specifically my class, is something that we're all really proud of. And I know that we're never going to forget that, none of us in my specific class, for many years to come.
Yeah, so as you kind of move from position to position, you went from, even in college, you went from like a safety to like hybrid to a linebacker. Is there
Yeah.
any NFL players that you watch film on and try and model your game after?
Well, right now I just primarily think of myself as a linebacker. So, in terms of like watching NFL players, I like to watch a lot of Fred Warner. Um, and also, Shaquille Leonard from the Colts. I know he was hurt a lot this past season, but I love their games. And for me specifically, it's like I like comparing myself to him just because I'm similar in height and weight, and just in terms of style of play, I think of myself as a very, rangy type linebacker, um, who happens to be, faster than some other like stereotypical linebackers in the NFL. So I think their game kind of translates well to me. And whenever I'm like looking to study any NFL players, it's those two. And that, they're seeing a lot of success in the style of their play. So I'm just trying to emulate that as much as possible.
Yeah. So you've had it, as we've said, you've had an incredible past 2 seasons with Holy Cross. Some of your accolades include being a multi-time selection to the All Patriot League first team, selection to the All ECAC team in 2021, and being named a team captain this past year. Is there a game or two that you've played in throughout your entire career that that you'd like to share, or maybe like a favorite memory that you've had as part of this team?
Favorite game is, I probably have to say this past season in the New Hampshire game at home. That playoff game was like really, really special to the team, and for a lot of us, is not only like we're winning a playoff game at home, but it was pouring rain. And you always like love playing in those games as a kid, and you're not wearing gloves, the ball's all wet, everybody's flying around everywhere. So it was a ton of fun that game. That was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
and so
game.
yeah, oh yeah.
Gonna say that game was a great turnout for the weather conditions.
Oh yeah,
I can attest to that. It was raining pretty hard.
yeah. The crowd, there was like a decent amount of people who stayed like throughout the rain, so that was kind of surprising me. But yeah, I mean, it was a great atmosphere.
Hey, real fans
Sure.
stay through the conditions.
Facts.
That's how you know who your real fans are, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So your exceptional play in the field led to an invitation to the 2022 Hula Bowl, an all-star type game that invites the nation's best college players that are looking to take that leap to the NFL. So what was it like playing in this game and being around so many other elite players?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously coming from Holy Cross, it's obviously we're making our way up the FCS ladder. But whenever you're looking at FCS prospects, the biggest question mark is, how do they fare against FBS teams? So I think that game and that whole week in itself just kind of checked that box off for me as a prospect. And I also realized while I was down there, like if you can play, you can play. It doesn't matter at what level. So it was a great experience going against a lot of big time FBS schools and great players down there, and it was fun. Just building relationships with some other guys who are in the similar process as me, and just a lot of fun playing ball.
Yeah, did you find it a little strange to be on the same side of the ball as conference rivals? Kind of like I know Fordham had a couple guys there.
Yeah,
It's a little rivalry brewing.
it's funny. Like we would go out and practice. Like obviously, the first time I meeting them for real, because like after every single game, like you kind of go up and shake, whoever's linebackers and then or quarterbacks, and quarterbacks are everybody kind of like knows of each other, especially if you played in the same conference. So seeing them was pretty funny, and obviously like we never lost to them in my 5 years of being there. So I obviously had the higher ground on them in that sense, but like talking to them was like really funny. Like we're making Patriot League jokes and stuff like that. They're all pissed off at me because I'm from Holy Cross. Playing with the other linebacker Ryan Greenhagen was pretty funny though. I know a lot of my boys were like, "Oh, you guys are gonna be best friends," and like been rivals all throughout this 5 years. But it was fun. It definitely helps, saying that you never lost to them throughout the whole week.
So that game's played in Florida, right? Well, it was this year.
Yeah,
So
it was at UCF.
so playing in Florida, that's got to probably be a different experience than playing in New England. I'd have to guess, right, with the weather down there. So was it a bit of an adjustment? I'm sure you guys don't go all that hard, but was it kind of cooking down there?
Oh, guys go hard because it's like all the scouts are there, so
Oh
everybody's
yeah.
going hard. It was high the first couple of practice days, and those are like the bigger days. Like the game doesn't really matter as much as the practices do. So the practices were hot, and then once we got to the game day, it was like I want to say it was like 50 degrees or
Oh
something.
yeah.
So it was just
That's
like
perfect.
a normal, yeah. It was like for me, it was a normal game day. But for other guys, the guys are from Florida, they were like freezing the entire time. So it was funny how that weather worked out.
Yeah. So there are some rumors going around, most notably from sports reporter Ethan Hurwitz, that the New England Patriots have expressed interest in potentially selecting you in this year's NFL draft. So what are some of your thoughts on possibly having the opportunity to play for a team like the Patriots and Coach Bill Belichick and linebackers coach Gerard Mayo?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, Coach Belichick is, arguably the greatest coach of all time. So any opportunity to, be coached like someone like him would honestly be, a dream come true for me. Um, as well as any linebacker coach in the league. It's just always been a dream of mine. So I know I got a lot of friends in that area from being up at Holy Cross for a while. So be fun to stay closer to them and have them come to a couple of games. But yeah, it would just be an honor.
Hey, wait, we're New England people ourselves, so I mean, it would be nice to have some local college guys
Yeah,
playing
right.
for us.
Holy
So
Cross turned to
yeah.
Patriot.
Well,
Well, I
who did
mean,
you root for growing up?
I'm Packers fan.
Okay, all right. So
At this
no,
point, though,
not necessarily a rival to Patriots. So yeah, you're
right.
not necessarily a Patriots hater. So
Right. I mean, at this point, like I'm training for a pro day, like talking to all scouts and a bunch of teams and everything. Like you can't really like a team, At this
oh
point,
yeah,
it's obviously I'm gonna be playing my heart out for whoever, takes a chance on me. So at this
yeah,
point it's like
exactly.
all affiliation goes out the window in a sense.
Love it.
yeah, so seeing as we are a Boston-based podcast, both of us hosts here are from the Boston area. What are some qualities and traits about yourself and your game that you feel like you could add to this Patriots squad to help us bounce back? We just had a down year, especially on our linebacker core. So what do you think you could add to that?
I think a lot of versatility. I'm kind of a guy who prides myself on being able to do a lot of different things on the football field. Whether it's playing linebacker or covering some tight ends or running backs or running down on kickoff or playing any other special teams. So um, to that team, the Patriots, and to any team that'll take a chance on me, it's just a guy who's willing to work his butt off no matter what he's assigned to do.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all we got for our regular questions. We get some fun questions for you that we'll run through. Number one,
All right,
who is
good.
your NFL GOAT?
Tom Brady.
Good
I
answer.
mean, he's just I'm sure you guys would appreciate that. I mean, he's won however many Super Bowls. I mean, how can you not call him the GOAT?
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you've played in a lot of big games over the course of your career. As you said, the playoff game against New Hampshire, you played against South Dakota State a couple times in an FCS playoff game. What is your go-to pregame hype song when you're really trying to get ready for a game?
Ooh, Ooh, I listen to Jay-Z before every game. So there's a lot of different Jay-Z songs. I like Jay-Z Hard in the City. I'd probably say is one song, but like before a game, I'll listen to like a bunch of his songs. There's not really particularly one song.
So
That's valid.
So if you could have any celebrity, just anything, actor, athlete, anyone, any random celebrity that could come watch you play, who would it be?
Oof. I don't know. I've never been asked this question before.
These are the hard hitting questions.
This is always the toughest question.
This is an
Every
NFL. This
too.
is an NFL level question right here.
Yeah, you're right. This is the one right here.
Yeah. Belichick may ask you this in an interview.
I hope he doesn't because I don't have an answer ready.
We get some good ones at that. We get like Margot Robbie, Livy Dunn. We got Antonio Brown on one.
Yep.
Who else did we? We got like a
Who's
tennis
saying
guy.
Do we get Steph Curry?
It was a Georgia basketball player that said Livy Dunn. Yeah, we got Steph Curry
man.
before. We can move on to the next one. I don't want.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody right now. My mind is blank.
All right. Hopefully this one's a little easier. So, do you have a favorite non-football athlete that you kind of look up to or admire? Could be from any sport other than football.
Luka Doncic right now. I'm a Mavs fan. Like I grew up in Texas, so Luka's my man right now.
All right. How do you feel about the Kyrie trade? Let me ask you that one.
Questionable personality. I love him for his, basketball game, and the Mavs are 2-0 right now with him. So, like, hey, let's go. Luka was carrying a lot, so he needed a little bit of weight off his shoulders, which I'm sure Kyrie brings.
So, as Boston people, we have a little beef with Kyrie, as Brooklyn now does. So he's just going franchise to franchise, destroying franchises. So I guess Dallas is next.
I'm hoping the streak ends.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's all we got for you. Thank you, Liam, for joining us. We appreciate it.
All right, man. Appreciate you boys having me.
Yeah, best of luck in your journey to with your pro day, and hopefully get an invite to the combine. So, and I can't wait to see what happens. So thanks everyone for watching and listening. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at @offbeat_sports and on TikTok at offbeat sports. And make sure on the lookout for the next installation of the OffBeat University series. Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate it.